Good morning, everyone. And I'd like to thank you for accepting the invitation and coming on this Saturday morning. And as you would have guessed, I would not have invited you to come on a Saturday unless it was something pretty important that our company depends on. All of you has been part of CareSide for almost 5 years. And let me just begin by take you in a memory lane just to remind you of how we get to this point. When I came about to start this company, I went and looked for qualified people that I thought that they would fit the bill for my company. All of you were handpicked, and I commend you and thank you for accepting the invitation 5 years ago. All of you had very lucrative jobs. You were highly paid and had great careers. You accepted the invitation based on the idea that we potentially collectively can make a difference, can make a new device that does blood tests, will revolutionize how blood test is done in the healthcare industry. And we have actually achieved that, almost. We are at 95% there, which is great achievement. However, we're gonna need a little bit more time to make that device 100% bulletproof and acceptable in the marketplace. As you have made the decision to join us 5 years ago, at this point, I would like us to rethink again and decide how we're gonna move forward. It is only fair to you to understand what is at risk moving forward. If we continue with the status quo, our company is not sustainable. Our monthly burn rate, as our Chief Financial Officer might brief me, is higher than our intake. Projected default of the company is 9 to 12 months. We have to make a decision now, and I need your help. You all know that I have been in communication with Khouja to sell the company. Beckman looked at our company and offered us 1/10 at what we had been offered 2 years ago. Not the numbers that we really would like to have, but it is something. If you do the math, which means at the end when the company is sold, each one of you will take home a net of $100,000. It's a mere little number that you guys had in mind when you guys joined. But it is something. It is a known outcome. If we do not take that position, this offer, by the way, this offer will take the entire company, move it to New York, will pay all the debts, and with the extra money we have, you have each $100,000. And I did not solicit this offer. They offered me to stay on board for the transition for 3 years as the CEO of that division of that company. We have an alternative. We could forget the offer, and we could decide immediately to operate the company within our means, which means we have all of us to take a pay cut of 50% immediately. It does not mean you're gonna work less. You are actually gonna have to work harder, all of us. And we have to sell that idea to the employees, that we need their collaboration to continue working with us. We feel if we operate within our means, which my estimation about 18 months, we will be in the green again. When we get to that point, the company will be in a better shape, and we can sell the company at a much higher number. The challenge with that, this is an unknown. We can continue that route and still be in the same position, and we cannot succeed in solving the technical issues that we have, and the company will come to a zero. And all of us will walk away with nothing. I would like your input. It is pretty important because it affects all 70 employees that work for the company. What would be the road moving forward? Do we sell the company and net the $100,000 per risky one or not the risky? Any question?
They decide to buy us, and we will have jobs in New York, and how much will we be paid? 50% take care?
Unfortunately, they are moving the company completely to New York, and the option for them to relocate our resources is not there. They have their own internal resources they're gonna utilize, but they only extend the offer from me in a managerial position to handle that transition for 3 years. And again, I did not solicit that position. They suggested that.
So we would not have a job.
You will, within 3 months, you will not have a job, but you will have $100,000 in your pocket. And all of you with your talent, it's not an issue to find it. I mean, all of you is great employees. You will do well somewhere else.
Is
Yes,
$100,000 for the director level, or is it for all of the employees? If not for all the employees, or is there any kind of termination benefit?
Thanks, Tom. No, it is only for you guys. The employees will immediately lose their jobs.
Will they have any kind of
No compensation. Initially, remember, I came out to you from your existing jobs and I took away from your jobs. There was a risk involved with that. That's the reason I have committed to you. But the employees, we opened the floor and we hired all these people. Our financial commitment was just for you guys, for the directors. Any other questions?
What about our benefits packages? Will we be able to continue those?
No. You will not have the benefits.
So we come away with cash,
That's it.
but nothing else. Will we have the capability of getting letters of recommendation, affidavits of our value to the company? Is there going to be any type of support for us as we move on to new positions?
And Shauna, you are aware, you being head of engineering, you know, we really have achieved a lot. And our name, we really have made a dent in the industry. All of you, you will find yourself very sought after heads of departments in the industry. So I'm not really too concerned. The question is, do I take something that in my hands is 100K and walk away and start fresh, or go for another 18 months, and potentially the upside is huge, but on the other side, we could walk away with zero. Chris?
Two questions. One, why is the offer 1/10 now that it was a couple of years ago?
They value the company based on the current sales that we have and the projected sales. This is the number that they produce, and they actually, it's under the value of the company, but they know they have us at a weak point,
Right.
and we have no other choices. There were no other suitors. We made a mistake 2 years ago when we were offered to sell the company. We did not jump on that.
So you really believe we're 95% there? Beckman does too, but there's not the leverage on our
We
side.
need more
there
time,
is on
we need
their
more
side.
time and money.
There's no way to negotiate a higher buyout?
That's their final offer.
And with the other people below director or VP level, they'll take a 50% pay cut also?
That is correct.
And
All
most
the,
of
all the,
them-
ma- all the managers and beyond will take that pay cut, including myself. Matter of fact, I haven't been paid for 3 months actually.
Can the company then operate and survive because most of those people will leave?
Based on the financial suggestion from Mike, he thinks it's doable, but you really have to tighten it up. We have to implement massive cost savings. Even looking into running the electricity unnecessarily in areas and stuff like that.
But my question is, I understand that, but they're going to be, if I'm making $150,000 a year, maybe because my spouse is making money, I'm willing to take the risk and I can survive on $75,000 a year. But there are people maybe who are making $60,000 a year, who at $30,000, they can't even survive, so they've got to find something else. So then we lose our people, can we then operate?
Unfortunately, we have to be creative and we have to find ways to operate once some people leave us. But you are the key employees. This is what you guys have made the company. I'm not too concerned about other people. You are the one who made the company. So within our internal talent, we should be able to move forward. Mike?
I know a couple of years ago, the company was offered more money and now less. Is there any person who is accountable for this? Why we didn't sell it at that time? And then
do not sell, we have to find ways to keep the company running, mean and lean. Yes, we will do that. But it's gonna impact you more than anybody else because the pay cut is gonna come out of your salaries. And you guys are highly compensated employees, and we make a big bet. And why didn't we sell 2 years ago? Some of you advised us not to because we thought we'd be in a better position now and we got a lot more money back then. So this is what we're faced with. I thank you for your contribution. I could not have